Yo, what's going on, everybody?
Sorry about that.
Welcome to another Wake and Bake with Micannacast. I'm Canna Dave.
And I'm Groovy.
On this morning, we are going to be talking about COVID and cannabis. Some breaking news happened this week that we're going to get into, discussing if we think cannabis could potentially prevent COVID or if it's just fake news. But I don't know if it is fake news. But I also have something about that because I've caught COVID a couple times. So we will discuss that. As always, let us know what you're smoking on, you're dabbing on, how you're consuming cannabis this morning. What up, Nick on Facebook? What's going on, everybody? We are live on LinkedIn and also our website as well, too, if you want to check out either one. So appreciate everyone tuning in today, and let's get this Wake and Bake started, Groovy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my camera. It's all tilted today, so I'm having like the worst trouble over here. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Rich? How's it going on, fam? What you smoking on? What you everyone dabbing on? Let us know in the comments. Just take it a little chill, because I just realized I forgot my dab again. Actually, it might be good still. Too cold. Too cold. Isn't that the worst when you forget about a dab and you just go to take it and you're like, what a waste.
That would suck.
It's always a bummer.
Well, it'd be a bummer if you
though.
dabbed it and it barely burned. That would be a bummer.
That happens all the time. Like, because sometimes when you're trying to, when you're trying to get that,
anytime you mess up a dab and you do it way too cold, yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, I like cold dabs, but if you miss it,
it's just that right. Yeah, exactly. If you go too much,
if you go too much, it's just not good. It's just there's nothing there. You're not gonna hit or anything. So, kind of sucks.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. So, what's everyone smoking on? How you smoking on? How you consuming cannabis today?
Nice. What are you about to roll up, Nick? Got a homegrown joint. What's
up, T-Dub? What's up, Nick?
What specific strain you guys smoking on? Oh, I love how since we got COVID in the title of our stuff, like everywhere it's got COVID-19.
Is it giving us warnings and stuff? It does that. I don't get it. Even if you mention it nowadays, it's just like what it does.
No, I know. You don't even want to mention it nowadays because you just get that tag. This is COVID-19 news. And yeah. So
I think they assume we're just going to be talking shit and lies. Like, no, we're not talking anything. We're just reading
spreading misinformation. But
you see all that shit with Joe Rogan? The scientists were attacking him.
Well, I mean, he's spreading all that COVID misinformation, isn't he?
I'm
just kidding. I don't really know. I don't
listen to Joe Rogan like he's just entertaining. I don't know what more he's supposed to be more than entertaining. You know what I mean? He's an entertainer. People look at him like he's like a wizard. Relax.
I mean, he is from Fear Factor from back in the day, so.
Dude, that show was the shit. I'm not gonna lie. I love Fear Factor. I got down on some Fear Factor, man.
Oh, I did too. That was the whip back in the day.
Yeah. So I just did a dab of white runts, and I'm gonna do a dab of GMO in a second here. Looks like we got a joint smoking on a joint of black cherry soda. Who's that by, and do you know the genetics by chance? Because I'm very curious. Like, that's pretty specific. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. Thanks for joining, Serena. Appreciate you.
Sounds tasty as hell.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Black cherry soda. Can't go wrong with that, man.
Sounds interesting. You know what I mean? Like, does it taste like soda? I've never had cannabis that tastes like soda. But today, essentially, just like Dave was saying, we're just going to talk about, like, kind of what's the truth behind all this cannabis and COVID connection, because people were talking about or not people, articles were talking about can COVID's been helps cannabis. I think all the article headings were like absolutely crazy. They were from all over. I saw from Click on Detroit Channel 4, but as of yesterday it was like New York Post, Fox, every big news source, like, you know what I mean, Fortune, all of them had these like articles with it going on. It's like, does cannabis cure COVID? Does cannabis cure COVID? And it's like, not exactly.
Doesn't cure it, prevents it.
But there was all these, like, they were just trying to get clickbait.
Well, that's all it is when you're saying it cures something. It's not going to cure it. It prevents it. And like in retrospect, I mean, I don't smoke a lot of hemp, so I couldn't tell you if I'm getting a lot of the CBGA, because it's the acid, CBGA, and then there was like CBDA or something like that.
Yeah, so here,
me personally, I've caught COVID. I had COVID in March, end of March last year, and then also end of December last year going into the new year. And I consumed copious amounts of cannabis, I'd say. I smoke a decent amount. So I'm not going to say the strains I'm smoking is preventing me from catching COVID, but maybe the second time see, I already believe I had the antibodies since March. So when I just got it back in December, it wasn't as bad for me. So I think my antibodies in general were fine. It not doing anything with cannabis. Because you caught COVID. You smoke heavy amounts of cannabis. You even do a lot of concentrates too.
Well, they're different. They're different compounds than what they're discussing. So the thing is, we can talk about CBD, CBN. So there's so many different types of cannabinoids. And the cannabinoids that they're referring to in these articles are CBGA and CBDA. But the issue is, like, once it becomes CBG, I believe that's the CBGA is the precursor to CBG. So what's fascinating is, like, again, when cannabis is defined, cannabis sativa, there's a family of cannabis. Hemp, you got cannabis, like the one we know and smoke marijuana. Like, there's, like, cannabis is a multiple, geniuses: sativa, indica, rudeus, right? Rudo, whatever you say. Rudialis, excuse me. So there's different, like, cannabis, and there's hemp, right? So those have, like, low THC with the highest cannabinoid parts in it. But that's kind of what they're referring to, is that there's parts of the CBGA and CBDA that essentially, how they describe it in these articles is they sort of help block these receptors. They get into saying that it's like the spike protein, I believe, is ACE2, is a critical step in that cycle. So essentially, when the highest cannabinoids that can invade this infection, it's essentially stop this step in the cycle. That's how it's preventative. So it's not like it just prevents COVID. Like, you can't just, like, smoke weed and now you're good. It's like using specific concentrates. It's like, it says the two cannabinoids with the highest if I can't say that word, highest effects to the spike protein were CBDA and CBGA, and they were confirmed to block infection. So that's kind of where it's a lot more specific than these articles are trying to get you to do, just to, like, click it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's not like you can just smoke weed, like Dave was saying. Like, you couldn't just smoke weed and you're like, yeah, I'm good now. Like, you'd have to have highly concentrated forms of this CBGA and CBGA.
I wonder if you just ate the raw cannabis hemp plant.
Well, I'm wondering if
just, like, make your tea, make your butter with it, and then that would maybe prevent it. I mean, because, yeah, we smoke copious amounts of cannabis concentrates, and I've still caught COVID. But I've also gotten sick all through my life, though. Like, I had H1N1 back when that was.
Did you really?
Yeah. I had to go to the hospital for
bird flu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had, like, been sick so many different times. So for me, it was probably just my immune system. But
damn.
Yeah, no, it's messed up.
No, I hear you. No, so keeping it real. No.
I love to see the headline, though, because that's great news for cannabis if it does anything, because then the government should be like, all right, everybody gets supply of hemp.
Well, here's my thing. Well, that's what I was about to say, is it's not like you're trying to get America high. We're just trying to get everyone to smoke hemp. I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there that are going to be like, oh, you still get high. But we know, as cannabis smokers, like, the difference between them and,
well, you're not getting so litty.
Right. Well, you don't. Remember when we even smoked that 2-to-1 stuff? I didn't get, like, stoned.
It was like a clear level.
It was a different smoke.
Like, but there's a little buzz, but it wasn't
is,
like, oh, I'm completely knocked out.
My whole question is to this and all these articles and to this, to the science that's going behind it is CBG, like, once that process is gone through, is it no longer good? Because to me, it does sound like there's a difference between the active part and the non-active part, because they keep saying A, like CBDA and CBGA. So I'm like, the CBG stuff I have, like, in my cabinets, could I take that and it would help prevent COVID? I don't know, because I don't think that's how it works. I think it sounds like the science needs that specific, and they need to be active, right? So by the time they get to that form, it sounds like they're useless. But it to me, it's very curious.
I just thought it was interesting, because, like, once it hit the news waves, you're
well,
right,
and that's what in T-Dub just dropped the next thing that I was going to get into. It was like, once you decarboxylate the CBDA and CBGA, it loses the properties that might help fight COVID. So that basically means, like, if you smoke it, it doesn't work. Or decarbon anyway, so it gets heat. So, like,
so if you are smoking, it would work then.
No,
smoking, you're adding.
It loses
heat to
their property too. Doesn't decarb meaning add a heat?
Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean. You lose the property. So smoking wouldn't help.
Oh, okay.
I'm like eating it. So that's that's kind of where I'm getting at is like, so eating the cannabis, if they can to like a pill form, like a, a gel or whatever type of tab, that's where it could probably be super helpful. So
It's a win for cannabis. That's all I got to say. Either way you look at it, because it
does look good. It does look good.
It looks great. It looks great. And I hate to do the whole COVID thing, because each their own. Whatever you want to do, you do. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. I just can't wait till we all get through this. But to be honest, I think it's going to be like this for a while. And we said that back when it first happened. So if hemp is something, I think everyone should try it, if possible. Maybe the government should do something, because that's just crazy to see that. But did you know Michigan crushed it in sales this year? I got the numbers. Hold on 1 second.
It's cool. I'm taking a dab. Because I keep forgetting, so it's just sitting here calling my name. You know how it goes, T-Dub, when there's GMO behind you?
Dude, I mean, you got GMO always behind you. When don't you have GMO behind you? I mean, shit.
I see no problem with this. I see no problem with anything you're saying. So.
Yeah, I'm not hating on it. I'm smoking a whole doob right now, so.
Yeah.
And then, dude, Colorado made more tax revenue last year than they have in any other previous year. They made like 500 million in tax revenue last year in cannabis. So they beat their previous year. And that industry's still growing. That was the first state to be legal. What was it, 2013 or something like that? They crushing it. Shout out to Chillinois, because I saw them tweeting that, or not tweeting that. They posted about it on their IG. I don't know if it was last night or this morning, but I saw that. That was pretty cool to see. I was trying to pull up the numbers from Michigan, but Michigan did hit. It was like over 1.5 billion, I think, we had in total sales this year, which was good to see. But I expect this year to continue growing as well, too. I think the sales were going to continue to increase, because more and more people are going to continue going to the shops. You're seeing more and more shops opening up. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely. I mean, honestly, I mean, I think we're going to, I don't know. In Michigan, unless they expand the green zones, I really don't see it like jumping up the way. I don't think we're going to see the spikes we did the past few years. I really don't think so. I really don't think the money's going to be like how it has been, only because that I think, things are starting to balance out a little bit. But if they expand green zones, like once Detroit opens up, like you'll see the spikes again, but I think it's going to level out for a while.
Yeah, I'm kind of opposite with you on that. I think the industry is going to continue to grow here, and the numbers will probably be higher this year than they will be previous year, in my opinion. And we'll be curious to see what happens within the prices in the industry. Are the prices in the industry going to continue to level down? Because you have been seeing them go down a little bit, but you still see those high costs on some product, which is just outrageous. I saw a shop was selling an eighth of bud for $65, and I've never even heard of the brand.
They're doing that. I mean, a lot of people are spending the money on the branding, so then they just assume that their bud's like chronic because it looks good in pictures, and it, and again though, sometimes it is good bud. It's just not because it looks good in a picture doesn't mean it smokes good. You know what I mean? How many times did we fall on sucker to bag appeal?
Oh, so many times.
What's up, Brain Jerk? What's up, John?
I mean, back in the day, that's how I used to look at my bud. Would always be just bag appeal. But then, like, you've learned through the past that bag appeal bud isn't the best. Remember that? Like, I always remember that there's this bud I got from High Times. Remember, it was like all purple. The entire bud was purple, covered in trichomes. Great bag appeal, but the taste was horrible on it.
The only purple bud I can remember like that was the stuff we got from Kyle back in the day. Was that Black Widow, you called it, or whatever? That's the only purple shit. And then, except for the Tropicana cookies. But see, that's my whole point, though. Is like, look at all that stuff. They all looked super purple. But only like one of those buds we talked about, to me, was good.
Tropicana cookies.
That was good.
Phenomenal.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But just because it's
like
purple, just because it looks like it has all these nice pictures, it's like, so. Like, yeah. I don't know. But nowadays, I've just learned to think that it's like, because I used to think like, you see all these trichomes, it's going to smoke good. It doesn't always mean. I mean, you'll feel the effects, but it may not like taste good. It may not hit the same way I want it to hit. I used to love perps back in the day. I used to be like, oh, perp this, perp that, perp this, perp that. But that was back when I was still like, dro this, dro that. You know, this is like 2009, 10.
Yeah, the dro days. Always good times.
I think it's some type of runs. Oh, that might have been the last of my runs.
Perp could just be the stress. Yeah, I mean, you can change the color of the.
Just drop the temp.
Yeah, you can just drop the temp when you're. I mean, you could drop the last couple weeks and that bud will be turning purple, for sure. Just keep it cooler at night. Put the AC on or whatever and keep it cool.
Right, and that I've heard people do that all the time. But yeah, it's just like it's I don't know. It's a cheesy way to do it.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. Compared to like the natural purple in the plant, like the natural purple's legit. Like
right.
that,
like when
that's
you have
beautiful.
That tone to
that's
the
like
leaf.
beautiful.
Yeah, no. It's
but when
nice.
you're just dropping the temp to get it, like that's just.
And
I'm trying to make that. I'm trying to make
purple
perp. Yeah, I'm trying to make that perp, because that's what people wanted. So I'm gonna drop the temp, try to get it that perp color. No, just find the plants, find the genetics that do have that true purple in it, and then that stuff's like, it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm about to roll up some runts. I think right now. I think it's the runts. Really not sure. It's either so. I took a dab of runs. Still the strain. It's been the strain since 2020. It's everywhere. Still.
He just runs type of morning for you, man. So it sounds like
silly. Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks, Brain. I always call him Brain. Sometimes I call him Josh. Sometimes, goddamn, whatever. These guys have awesome informational content. I appreciate you. Yeah, and that's the thing. We want to kind of straighten up because there's tons of articles out there about all this COVID stuff and cannabis, and we just want to like set the record straight. And it's like, it's just a couple active CBD thing, couple active. I'm sorry. blah blah blah. There's a couple cannabinoids that are helping it stop one step of the process. So I just want to be more specific that it's more like you can't just like smoke weed and you're good now. Like that's all. I just want to make that clear because I did see the article and I was like, really? Like I must be good, but I was like, wait a second, I wasn't good. Just like you said, you got it twice, so it's like,
Yeah, and the worst thing about it too was like the first time we got it was pretty bad, dude. We couldn't smell or taste. I mean, mine lasted for a little while longer than yours.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not like cannabis prevented anything on that time because we were still smoking pretty good. That's what I'm saying. I don't think anything I don't consume any hemp or any high CBD or anything.
Well, and that's the thing. Once you smoke it, you don't eat a lot of CBD
and
stuff.
I don't.
You eat hemp? No, Dave. You
know what I mean? Like, I should now.
Right now, well, I bet you we're gonna see a spike in like hemp edibles and hemp buying. I bet you we see a spike in that, like from like smoke shops and shit. I bet you'll see a spike.
Man.
I mean, it's just like the toilet paper thing. As soon as anyone sees anything online, they're like, let's do it. Let's try it. Like, it's worth doing. Like, and then has a thing. It's funny, how, when you're talking about a preventative, like, how do you even know if it's working? If you don't get it, you don't get it, right? I mean, so it's working. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, dope? Long time no see. How you doing, dude?
We'll see. It was just cool to see the headline and see that in the news. That was the main thing I liked about it. Just
right. It's definitely like, pro cannabis, right? Because now people that don't even like cannabis are like, did you hear cannabis saves lives or whatever? Like, yeah, dude, duh. It's been saving lives. No, and that's just the miracle plant, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you would have to eat the raw cannabis. Yeah.
Right. You're just eating hemp.
Yeah. Well, I mean actually, Travis from Tuesday, I mean, that's exactly what he talked about, was cooking with raw cannabis.
Non-decarb bud, because it says there's other benefits to it. Wow. So, yeah, definitely check out our
But he was going with a lot of flavors, though, and talking different terms.
Because he says you can create the entourage effect with non-decarb flour. Sounds so weird when I say it out loud. So
there was a brand back in the day
flour?
that used to use raw cannabis in their
edibles. But that's
edibles.
my whole point.
That
so when Travis talked about using raw cannabis in edibles and then making ice cream with the distillate and terpenes. If you didn't check it out, we had a live guest on our Terp Talk for the first time this past Tuesday, which was pretty fun. But he talks about there's different benefits to the salt, and what a win for Travis right now. He's probably reading the articles like, told you. Next article, told you. Shout out Travis because he's like ahead of the times, and actually we were a day ahead if you watched our Terp Talk. Technically, this is just kidding. Totally didn't know.
Yeah, because it came out Wednesday or Thursday, actually. The news.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But we really didn't know. It's just making a joke. But the non-decarb flour, I guess, has some benefits to it that none of us knew about. You know?
I mean, they're still gonna have to do a lot of testing and see how it works, like in mass, like human trials and whatnot. Like, so.
No. Let's test 3 people and we're good. No, it's like I had 1 out of 3 people do this. How big is your trial? 3 people.
It failed one other time. Oh no, 33%.
I like that. Dope just says full spectrum, boys. The real full spectrum, right? And that's true. That's if you had decarb and non-decarb. God, it sounds so weird out loud. In the same edible, and you think about it, if it was ice cream, right? It's colder and it wasn't brought to that heat, like Travis was saying. So you don't lose the terpenes, you don't lose all that entourage effect. You don't lose that. It could be really beneficial. Think about it. Hemp ice cream saves lives.
I'd be behind that shit by the gallon.
Jay's like, I'm never getting it again.
Oh,
So,
man.
yeah.
It's no fun.
Yeah.
No fun.
So, I'll still take it as a win for cannabis. Yeah, T-Dub. Yeah, and it definitely is. No matter how you look, it's pro news. It's not like,
that was positive
as long as
news.
it's news where it doesn't end with like, is cannabis a drug? Like, okay, we get it. Like, we get it.
You smoke cannabis, you get COVID. What?
There's always some ridiculous study like, or we did a study that people that smoke weed spread COVID because they smoke joints. Like, what?
Yeah. Nah, it's pro news,
never
which
know.
is good. It's good to see that.
There's no way really to trace this stuff going on. I think that's kind of the
No,
frustrating
right now,
part
yeah,
to
it's
everyone.
very difficult, especially with the
That's
new
what's. I mean,
variant.
I'm frustrated. I imagine everyone else here is frustrated. Just talking about it, dealing with it. Like yes, we have to do it. I'm not saying this is the time to stop because we're stubborn. I'm just saying, like, God, I just love to wake up one day and not hear it, just not hear the word. But it's where we're at. It's just times.
Yeah.
It could be worse.
Just continue doing me. And
I'm pretty. Gave us pro news for cannabis. Maybe this is the nudge we needed for hemp and cannabis.
Well, hemp's already legal federally.
Right. Damn it. Well, I knew that too. That's what's funny. Is like because I always talk to my family members. I'm like, you should be growing hemp. Get out and sling, grow some hemp, man. Well, you got a bunch of land, just throw some hemp seeds. Like, what the hell's the problem? Like, why not?
And eat all that raw cannabis. Good to go.
Oh, Jesus. Luxuriously dope hurts me with this comment. It says, which cannabis company will get the first Pfizer government contract? No. Well, because which cannabis company already has their hands in hemp? The large hemp growers right now are probably like,
But are they making that much?
No, I'm just saying they're like seeing how healthy their product is. You know what I mean? That's it. Like, I don't know. If I was native, I'd be like, oh. Well, and right now, it's like your price margin, so the demand's going to go up. I mean, there's never been a demand for hemp anything. Like, I mean, because hold on.
There should be.
There is, but there isn't. They're different.
It can do so much, though.
It's not as much as, like, the THC side, the CBD stuff. It didn't get as popular. It just never did. I mean, in my opinion, it never really took up. I mean, hemp's more useful? You can make oils and papers and all this textiles.
Resourceful.
Like, you can make so much stuff out of hemp. So, by no means am I saying hemp is not more use. It's actually probably more useful than cannabis sativa, like getting high off of. But you can't really weigh one is more important because one is very good for mental health in humans, and one is very good for like, saving the environment and so.
Yeah, feel that, man. Feel that.
It is a crazy time and a crazy thing to be dealing with. So it's like, I don't know, it's wild times, man. But that's why we wanted to talk about the whole COVID and cannabis, because all these articles were like very misleading in my opinion, and just so we can read.
Yeah, I'm not even saying it prevents it for sure either.
Well, no, and that's what I wrote. We'll quote it again. I'll quote the article. This is all off Click on Detroit, so this isn't coming from me.
Coming from Groovy.
Groovy don't know shit about anything. No, I'm just kidding. 1, 2, 3, 4.
True.
Says any part of the infection and replication cycle is a potential target for antiviral infection, and the connection of the spike protein's receptor binding domain in the human cell receptor ACE2 is a crucial step in that cycle. This means that every cell entry inhibitors like acids from hemp could be used to prevent SARS-CoV-2 infection, which is COVID-19, and also shorten infections by preventing virus particles from infecting human cells. They bind to spike proteins, so those proteins can't bind to the AC2 enzyme, which is abundant on outer membrane and I don't know what that word is. Endothelial in the lungs and the other organs. That was. Hey man, am I the only one that's ever done that? Just like caught on a word and you're just like. Dude, I used to do that all the time in class, like school, like back in like when I was a kid. I'd be like, oh, everything, yeah, the reading and then like, what'd you say? Like nothing. I don't know. Either way, that's what it came from the article. I don't know. And it's fascinating to think that there's cannabinoids that help can block infection by basically preventing this process, this step, and it's neat. They're definitely gonna be doing research into it. You know, maybe a little bit more time into this and less into boner medicine. That's all I'm saying.
Probably not. They'll probably do both. Not gonna get rid of their number one.
You can save yourself from COVID and get an erection. No, I'm just saying, like, how many Viagras do we need? You know, we're always worried about the random shit in life. No one's worried about this is where the focus needs to be. So let's just make it a joke, really.
Feel that?
Yeah.
Good news. Good news. Good news for cannabis, man.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not getting the comments from Facebook, but I'm seeing them. So, Nick, I was getting them for a minute, so I appreciate you. Mark, hey, what's up, man? I actually just dropped your name. How are you feeling about this, Mark? Because he's really big into hemp. I want to talk to you about this. How do you feel about this? I didn't realize the comments stopped popping up for Facebook. That's so weird.
Research doing this. Yeah.
Whatever. I've had 21% weed that smokes better than 34% weed. Yep, Nick, we're talking the entourage effect. It's a game changer once you find strains that you love and you can dial them in for certain reasons or certain times and places.
That's how we always are talking about terps. Terps.
Terps, he says.
Terps.
Yeah.
Terps.
Yep. Oh, we got a good comment again from Dope. It says, those isolates are about to boom across the industry. You can isolate acids like THCA. Most people dab it, which drops to the acid, but you could just eat it. Well, that's what I'm thinking. I think they're going to start making edibles with high CBGA and CBDA. They're going to call them like COVID edibles or anti-COVID bites. You know what I mean? Like before you know it, they're going to be at like Dunkin' Donuts. Like, hey, you want your donut bites or your COVID bites? I'm just kidding.
12-pack of Timbits, different flavors.
I'm sorry. But no, but it is fascinating because when you find that there's different derivatives than just THCA that are like, you know, in the cannabis world, it really opens up your mind, right? So this is just, to us, it's like, oh, hey, another part of cannabis that's kicking ass, right? We already know what CBG is, so you're like, oh, CBGA, that makes sense, right? It's the active compound. But when you like don't know shit about cannabis and you read this article, you're like, whoa, cannabis saves lives. So it's like, that's what's funny is like, still funny. It's still going to take some education to dial in like what's really going on to people. But at the same time, it is very sweet. It is very, very sweet. I'm loving it. Damn
Oh, man.
it was in my head. I couldn't help it.
Dude.
I fucking hate that company. I hate them. Ronald McDouchebag.
Oh, man. Dropping the
it's about efficiency, getting it into your bloodstream. You'll have to consume an insane amount. See, I think they're going to have some type of concentrate or pill. You know, so that's what science is going to be working on, is some type of concentrate form.
Yeah,
I don't know how we're going to take it.
Though.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, there's still
going to be something here in a minute, in a month or two.
Well, yeah, COVID's been going on for 2 years, and we're still trying to figure out how to handle it. I understand it's going to take a while. I'm not saying this is going to be like tomorrow. It's like cannabis legislation. I'm just saying I'm hoping that's the next focus for the science group. Like, you know, I'm not personally a scientist. So I don't know how much I can really, I can experiment with it, but I can't really.
It's just an interesting.
Yeah. And well, and then that's the thing is like, do we get to the point where there's like, hey, go get your CBGA and CBDA shot? Like, what's like, I don't know. I'm just saying like concentrated version, no heat. I don't know. Is it just ice cream? Like what's the step? And just like I'm agreeing with Luxuriously Dope said, is that you're going to see it boom across the market, regardless of how it sells, how it works, how any of it works. There's already companies that read these articles and they're like, all right, let's make some products. You know what I mean?
True.
It's going to be the next CBD. Like, this is the next CBD, in my opinion. I'd be very surprised. Maybe if we don't, I guess, but look how popular CBD got. We saw the rise and fall of CBD. You know what I mean? It was like the biggest thing, and now it's not as big because they realize it's not all the same. You got to actually find a trusted CBD source. You know what I'm saying? Once you have a good CBD source, it's different. But right?
Yeah. No, that makes sense, man. That makes sense.
It is crazy though, man. So yeah, let's. What's everyone's smoking on? You guys take any new dabs? You roll anything up while we've been just blabbing away on information? Are you smoking anything recently that you want to talk about? Cause it's a new strain. I mean, this is Runts, but so clearly not that new.
No, nah.
Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, once or twice.
So
Yeah, what's everyone smoking, dabbing? I'll take a break from the cannabis and COVID talk.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm just kind of comparing them. It's not like one really cures it. And don't be like, hey, you heard on Micannacast that it cures it. Like, no, you definitely didn't. So
no.
But there are parts of cannabis that can help many parts of the life, and I think we all kind of realize that. So it's just another thing. What's up, everybody on IG? If you want to like comment and stuff, check out YouTube.
Yeah, definitely hit up the YouTube channel. Get to see the full video production by Groovy over there. Have you been trying any new strains? And are you had any new dabs recently?
I had this though. I mean, I had the white runs. I mean, I know it's not new really, but it's new to me because I don't usually get sweeter dabs. I did have some.
Who was the white runs by?
I did get a dab of some ice cream fruitcake that was really, I don't know, like sweet, but almost like I couldn't tell if it was like human. I don't know. It was an interesting taste. I don't know if I'm a huge fan per se, but it was definitely unique trying it. Oh, I'm getting Facebook comments and sweet. But yeah, that would probably be my most recent like new dab that I've tried. But that's about it.
Who was the white runs by?
True North.
Oh, nice.
Dude, can't beat a deal when you get a deal. I've been getting a deal for 4 for $100. I mean, for dabs, it's just, that's why I have them around.
I mean, at $25 a gram. So
I mean, it is on the rec side, and the dispo doesn't do med like discount, like that extra % off, right, to med for this %. So you have to pay the extra tax. But even with that %, it's still cheaper than buying other wax. And to me, it's the flavor is really good with I like them so. Oh, damn. All right, we got to talk about this for a second here. Because Dope just brought something up that we literally talked about before, and I got to ask some questions to both of you. I'm going to interview both of you. It says, Lily Egg Diesel Autoflower, Banana Daddy Autoflower from Ethos. I just harvested. Autos are the future, my guys. So, that's why I said. I was like, yeah, Dave's going to react really like, what? Because Dave loves saving genetics. Luxuriously Dope. What's your comment to that? What's everyone's rebuttal to that? Because if you don't know, auto plants, 90-day flower, and whatever you want to call them, you don't save the genetics, right? The Rudos, right? You can't save genetics, right? But I'm sure you just cycle right through them.
I mean, yeah, you're cropping then every 90 days or whatever, how many days it is.
Right. Well, yeah, if you just offset them like a month.
I don't know if we've had a bunch of, I think we said this last time, I don't know if we've had a bunch of auto products. So I don't know on the taste and the high side of it, but growing wise, I don't know. I just love going through the whole process, cutting my clones, keeping my genetics, finding that strain that you like, and then you can continually have that.
Well, because to me, that reminds me of old school hunting. Like you were pheno hunting, you're like looking for that right strain. When you're doing the
on a small scale,
you're doing the 90 days, it's like, But is that the fun of it? Is that the fun of 90
How
days?
expensive
remember, you have all these different flavors all the time, rather than just smoking the same 10 flavors all the time?
I mean, autos might be good for a plant count limit because then you just grow them right through. Like in states where you have a certain plant count, like every state has a plant count, but say if it's like a 6 state, instead of vegging, you might just want to grow 6 seeds at once, or 4 seeds and start 2 after, and then you just rotate it like that. It's just, I don't know. I've never really experienced autos, but for me personally, I'd probably stick to the plants that I can continually cut
This is
clones
a
and
fair
whatnot.
point. He Luxuriously Dope saying it's just talking strictly for production purposes. Or that's he said, talking production purposes. If you get sentimental, then yeah, grow photos. Yeah, I mean, like if you want to save the flavors.
Yeah. Production standpoint, yeah, I could see that for a lot of companies. Just grow them and chop and go, faster cycles.
Right.
Think about that. Maybe that you're just taking that product, then you're washing it, making rosin.
Oh, right, because you're
Making
saving all that
edibles.
plant count too. Because you're just there's no like having to save.
Yeah, you're not
Genetics.
really saving.
Yeah.
Wonder how much the seeds
Well, I mean,
cost.
yeah, I guess that would be crazy though to see how fast you'd be how much bud you'd be pushing out with 90-day autos on like with like a with like a bee, like 1,000 plants. It's one thing when you're doing it in your basement, but I could never imagine seeing 90-day plants, like 1,000 of them every 30 days or every 90 days you get.
Right, and then you don't have to have you don't have your mothers.
And when you're
you don't have to have your
big
clones.
companies, why would you care exactly?
You don't have the
that's what-
vegging.
yeah,
It's pretty much just going through the whole cycle, and then you have the light cycle because they can take more light too, I believe.
Mad. Yeah, he's saying mad.
You're still gonna
space
want to
and
give them
all
a dark period, like a lights off. No matter, I think. I mean, I would. That's just my opinion, but like I said, I haven't grown autos, so. But
Interesting.
because you're not inducing flower by switching the lights to 12-12. I believe they just start flowering on their own, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's interesting. We got to come and say if you get good genetics, you can get it from packs of auto seeds. That's why I go with Ethos. Well, it's just interesting to me because like when you smoke, like photos, right? Like they taste way different sometimes. Like I've had different types, and granted, sure, I could have been getting lied to too, but when you have different Gorilla Glues or different whatever, right? You get all these different smokes, and they taste way different sometimes. So you like autos have a better do they stay more flavor consistent across seeds? Because that's how I don't have a lot of experience smoking autos, so it's like one of those things where I'm not exactly sure.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. 18-6, 18 on, 6 off. That's probably what I would go with.
Oh, Dave, what's up?
So that's pretty
Dave
much
Cobb.
just like your whole life. Yeah, wow.
Isn't that nuts? Oh, and sour diesel hemp extract sativa. Wow. It's an HHC cart. Nick's smoking on some hemp right now. Awesome, dude. I had a hemp cart for a while. Remember we got it at Cannacon? Then I lost it. Then I refound it. I had like a purple.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Like perps. Yeah, I actually enjoyed the smoke because you don't get like stone. It's more just like a calming thing. I do enjoy smoking hemp. I just don't have like a consistent, in the Metro Detroit area, someone who smokes or grows a lot of hemp. So
That'd be true. I don't know anybody.
yeah.
Not many.
Yeah, next time I'm north, I'm thinking about maybe making a trip somewhere because someone's gotta have hemp up north. We know someone, but
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting to think of just growing autos. I mean, you're dosing up a lot of good points on it.
right.
No bedroom, just one, pretty much in one room. You go and go to town.
Well, and that's the interesting thing that I never thought about. When you don't have mothers and clones, you're saving on a shit ton of plant count. When you don't have,
And
all
the time cycle,
resources,
too.
yeah,
Think
the
about that.
time.
Jeez.
In my brain,
90 days. Is it 90 days?
Don't you save money
would
on
say 90
nudes
days.
technically too? Because they're smaller, aren't they?
No, I would just do living soil and just do straight water. For a production standpoint. But I don't do that. But for a big business, you probably could. But I don't know. Maybe we'll have to try one. We'll have to buy some seeds.
He added to
try
what you
one.
were saying, no veg room or flower room or any type of separation. You just go one giant space.
Yeah, because it's the same light the whole
Yeah.
time. So, I mean.
That does make sense. I didn't even think about that either. You don't have to have separate rooms to build out. You save tens of thousands of dollars on build out costs, overhead. Now you can just have a smaller warehouse and just shoot them all. Because really what you need all that space for is the separation.
Mm-hmm.
When you have these giant warehouses because you need a mother room, you need a veg room, you need different flowering stages, or different, different.
Flowering,
well, in a lot of places, like you said, they do different flowering stages too, right? So they've got different rooms for that. So some of these, like I'm sure that some of these warehouses have like 20 rooms, 10 rooms minimum. It's nuts.
Yeah, some are pretty.
I'm just
big,
thinking
man.
about building all the walls, like the labor and shit just behind that. Damn. You want this?
Mm-mm.
All right. Yeah, no, it's Dang, I didn't even think about that. It's a very good point, and I could see
Oh wow,
autos
70 to 80 days. Okay, so I'm always thinking 90. That's even shorter.
shorter.
That's just a flower cycle. Think about that.
It's like three, not even
not
three
even
full
not
months.
even. That's a little bit longer than a flower cycle. Yeah, 70.
Yeah, that's
80
crazy.
days.
That's 2.5 months, man.
I know.
You get what, 5 cycles in? 4 cycles in? Damn. 4 cycles in a month, or you get that extra cycle in too.
It's a lot of plant.
Damn. So yeah, even if you don't get the weight,
Ethos genetics.
even if you don't get the
I'll have to
weight,
check
even
those
if you don't
out.
get the weight immediately, you'd get it on the back end with that extra pull.
Well,
Even
dude,
if the plants were smaller, that's all I'm saying. Damn.
pump 'em-
Interesting. I never thought about that. I
pump 'em
mean,
full of light.
it's funny because I've come from because I come from smoking from you, Dave, like where you're like a big fan of specific genetics, and I am too. Like like you said, the future. Yeah, I could see that. I would rather grow 1 large plant than 5 little ones. Okay. See, and again, I think this is a different style of grow. What's your setup? What's your plant count? Because in my opinion, if you only have the 12 plants, right, you're on the adult use side or the medical, or I guess just the one person. If you just have one person, 12 plants, I could see you wanting to grow bigger plants. If it's for yourself, you know what you're doing. It's a home operation. I get that. Or if you have outdoors, right, you can save money. Have a greenhouse, you can save money. But definitely for production on especially these big standards, and man, that would save a lot of stress. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, even for a home grower, dude, that wouldn't be bad. Think about that.
Just throw them downstairs in a basement in one little room now, and you just cycle them. I mean, honestly, it might be a good way to learn. Like you said, if you just threw some living soil at it and threw some water on it, you just got to make sure you know exactly how much water to feed it and when, and you're good. And you don't overwater it, underwater it.
Yeah. That'd be true.
Crazy.
Man.
It's funny because sometimes I don't even think about Rudy Alice because I think so much about just hunting, because I've become so obsessed with like specific phenotypes and genotypes, whatever you want to call them. Well, they're kind of one and the same, kind of not, but yeah. Oh, you can do 2 outdoor runs in Michigan with autos too. That's interesting. So yeah, if you time your cycles up right too, because technically we get about 4 months of summer if you planted, in the spring, right? You're good, huh? Like 5 months, yeah. I say 4 months of summer. We get 4 warm months is what I mean. Like, give or take. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Not much more than that. I mean, I can grow 72 with my cards. Yeah, Dave, I think it'd be good for home growers. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it depends on what operation, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, for large operations, I could see this being really good. For home growers, that's interesting. Man, maybe you should throw an auto in to see what happens.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe I just do it. I don't know. I don't know what smoke it's been or whatnot. That's not a bad idea. Try it. Can't. Then if maybe we'll retract our statement on why we don't like them.
That's interesting. Measure yield off square foot because it really would depend on how big the plants would get. Wow.
Hey, what up, Choff?
I'm curious. Oh, what up, brother?
Hop
What's
over
up,
to our
man?
YouTube. You can check out the production and everything.
But yeah, no. Nick said Dave carbs don't stack. The limit is 12 per household. No, that's adult use. He's talking about if you're Dave Cobb is referring to if he's since he's a grower. So that's what he's referring to. Caregiver. What did I just say? Grower. Jesus.
Grower.
Duh. Yeah, no, for sure. So
We'll have to try it. We'll have to look at.
I just never really
Ethos
thought about
seeds.
that. Just because, like, I mean, because especially if you're going into a cannabis world, right? And you're like, all right, we already guys spent all this money on licensing, all this money on getting things tested, all this money, all this other overhead, right? To a business that, in what's it called? I was gonna say the safety procedures, the testing, everything. So when they're like, hey, we can just build out one giant space, get more flour. And then honestly, I don't know. Okay, luxuriously dope. Does your auto flower turn out just as good and just as like dense and potent as your other
I
stuff?
want no flavor. That's what I get. Flavor.
Yeah, well, I said everything. I mean, Entourage. Like, does it still hit? You know, because I'll be honest. I mean, I don't know if I've ever smoked auto except for, I won't say his name because I don't even know what he's doing these days, but like a decade ago, he was growing, like he was a caregiver and I had no idea. And he grew 90-day autoflower. I was the only person I ever actually knew and seen and tried it, but that was so long ago. He's not even living in Michigan anymore. So, damn though, like, I don't know. But if he's smoking autos out here, we had no idea.
You never know. I would assume most cultivators aren't. But I could be wrong, though. It's not like we know every cultivator in the industry right now. You know what I'm saying? So
that's funny. He said grow an auto while the photo's veg. That's literally what you could do.
No, I already thought. I was already thinking of that. I was like, yeah. All right.
You guys are two birds getting stoned.
Speaking of that, you mentioned the podcast. That's our new little segment.
Oh, yeah. We had two birds getting stoned. Yeah, so me and Dave are come up with like little side segments, and we're probably going to put them on like Patreon or some type of like source like that. So me and Dave can like swear and get it like a little bit heavier in the conversation, deeper, a little bit more real. Not more real. That's the wrong way to say it. How would you say it? A little bit unfiltered, more
unfiltered, yeah. A little bit.
I think we get more into our private lives. That's what I would say. So I'm trying to call it unfiltered, but it's like I don't really hold anything back here. So that's not what I mean. I mean more like we'll talk about private situations and stuff, and we're just like smoking bud in the car, in the driveway with it not running, and just smoking weed like we used to, catching up. So it's a different segment, but two birds getting stoned. We'll probably post clips and stuff about it, but we've been recording content, so that's what we've been doing. I forgot about that. Good call. I never brought it up.
Terpy. He said terpy is fucked, but depends on breeder. That makes sense. Good genetics. How many seeds come in like an ethos pack? And what's usually the price? I'm actually curious.
Yeah, actually, Dave's about it too. He said, "What's the auto seed company?" They're talking about Ethos Genetics. We did see him at Cannabis.
Yeah, Cannabis. But we ran into that lady, and she was a real rude
She wasn't
person.
nice.
Rude lady.
Yeah.
Saying it gently.
She was just kind of. Yep. Anywho, I don't know how the genetics are. You can't really represent a whole company off a person, you know.
Genetics look great. I've seen them posted on IG.
Yeah.
I've just never really. I've been growing lit farms and then some exotics right now recently.
I'm sure you could order them online, Dave.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Thumb area. And genetics, yeah, I can imagine. I mean, phenotypes and genotypes to me, that's why I'm saying it's funny that I always said phenotypes. But when you go into autos, do you really, I mean, you do have phenotypes, but it's just the different seeds, right? This would just be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they're gone. And then the next grow would be 6, 7, 8. Is that how you end up with like 69 different versions of Gorilla Glue? Like,
well, that's when they
I don't know.
And they go with it.
I really don't know.
10 for 100.
Now another thing
That's
is
not
too,
bad,
our
actually,
auto genetics totally different, right? Because they're all Rudo, so they're all different genetics, right? You can't have like, they're not going to be the same genetics that we're used to.
No, I'm pretty sure I've seen some of them the same. I bet you can find like a
you
Sherwood
could find
or
some
something.
crossovers. Interesting. I don't know how that works, so I was curious.
Autos are feminized too. 10 for 100.
And they're feminized. Well, yeah, but when they're feminized, like,
Oh,
you're
it's
not going
perfect.
to lose.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
you're getting 10 for 100. You're
pretty
going
much
to get
just
$10 for a plant.
Yeah.
Well, to start off. Bang ring.
Well, it is only $10 because you can't clone it. You run it once and that's it. Boom.
And Nick, yeah, I would look online. I'm sure you could order nowadays. Seeds are not illegal to order.
All right, maybe I'll try one.
Everyone,
We'll give
hey,
it a
it's
go.
auto. You guys could plant them all the same day. And we could all just
Well,
talk.
it's just interesting. Yeah, I mean, you're
absolutely.
looking at bud in 70 to 80 days.
Let's keep this conversation going, autos.
70
Like,
to
for a
80
while.
days.
Yeah. And there's other companies with autos out there. I just know Ethos is.
Well, that's what
They're
Doug
around.
mentioned, and I've
I've seen their genetics.
He has good
around.
genetics though in general, Ethos, so I know that.
Well, you did want them until that person, and you were like, all right, I don't like their customer service. We out. Like, literally, you were ready to spend. Candidate was ready to spend money. He's like, I want to buy Ethos Genetics and blah blah genetics. I'm like, all right, we go there. I'm like waiting. We're waiting. And then the rude thing happened, and we're like, we're out. And then that was it.
I forgot she was just a really rude lady.
I don't even remember the whole situation. I just remember you being like, I'm good. And we left. Because I think we had to wait again. We had to wait multiple times. And we were just like, all right. Like, we were just trying to, connect and whatnot. But it was all good.
I think we asked her a couple questions.
Like I said, not going to judge a genetic company off a person. That's whatever. Really.
No, because that's just their event team.
Right.
The person's just there to help out. But yeah, no. I might as well talk about next week. Next week we are, I think we're talking about on Terp Talk. What are we talking about? Cannabis in different cities, right? Around the world.
Different countries. We're actually going to
try. Around the world countries.
Well, you said cities.
I said cities, then around the world. But
but, okay, well, whatever. Just go. I mean, we could do cities around the world, countries, whatever. I just was trying to say that we're not doing in the U.S. or North America. We're not talking about Canada. We're not talking about United States.
We'll probably always bring it back to the United States. So.
Well, we'll compare it to. I'm just saying we don't need. I don't want to break down each state. We should do that maybe one day, but just switching it up, doing like a little bit of like some research in for this terp talk, because last week was a lot of fun and we got really deep in the terpenes. But
Canucks grow. I've seen that guy too, Nick.
So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun episode.
Yeah, and then we're gonna release an episode. It's just gonna be me and Groovy on it this week. Some updates in the cannabis space. And
yeah.
Possibly a review as well too. Yeah, that'll be released Wednesday at 4:20. Probably have another blog out for you guys either next week or the following week, and I'll be on terpenes. So continue to come on to the website. We'll have new content for you guys posted there. If it's your first time listening on any of the platforms, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
Hell yeah.
Other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, we can summarize real quick because we talked about it, and then we got kind of lost on that auto.
I was enjoying the auto talk.
No, me too. Well, to me, what I love about it is that now I'm like, oh, autos. We need to do some research and make that a topic for a future thing. That's all. I want to make that a topic. Like, no, I'm absolutely down to. I love those side conversations. That's why I love the lives versus our episodes. Or why, and I love both of them. Right, interviewing versus conversation. With random conversation. But no, just want to talk about it. So CBDA and CBGA. It was basically they were the most effective in basically how did it say it? I don't want to misquote myself.
It's pretty much preventing the COVID virus from attacking.
Yeah, any part of the infection. Yeah, I could read the whole paragraph again.
Summary.
But essentially, yeah, it interferes with this binding process of a receptor AC2 that is a crucial step in the cycle, and it blocks the inhibitors. So essentially, therefore, helping prevent the spread or the into your body, the infection. So yeah, it was neat to learn. And honestly, like I just wanted to make sure that we could clear up all these articles that were like cannabis, hemp, is this the cure? Like,
no, it's definitely not. I mean,
yeah,
we don't know yet. They still got to do trials.
Lots of research.
Yeah.
The beginning,
yeah.
but
it's
really
good.
cool.
It's a cool headline for cannabis, though. It's not negative propaganda, so that's always a win. So enjoy that. But
yeah,
that's about it, man.
Yeah, no, if you want to check my tunes out, I started off one of my like funkier tracks with my buddy Jezik out. Actually, now he's in Michigan, but he was in Pennsylvania. But on Squad Records, check my stuff out. Groovy, 2 E's, no Y, on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that stuff. If you want to check me out on socials, Groovy Music, 2 E's, no Y. I say that a lot. Canada Dave, where are they going to find you, man?
Pretty much just Canada Dave. All socials are
website.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, and then definitely check out Micannacast.com. We're actually the episodes, well, these live things are actually getting posted there too now. So, and we got blogs, we got other types of content. So check it all there. And we appreciate you. We got some shirts, we got swag. Please check us out.
Yeah, other than that, we'll be live next Tuesday at 7:10. Appreciate you guys tuning in, waking up, baking up with us on this Saturday morning. Have a great weekend. And as always, Groovy, we're here to advocate,
educate,
and inspire. Till next time, guys. Peace.